Welcome back to the live coverage of YCS Milan 2018. We are now in the semi-finals and it's a meeting of the masters. I'm not promising you anything that we won't deliver, believe me. In the blue corner, we got the finalist of the largest ever European YCS, Dinh-Kha Bui. Nice to see you again. People remember you. What happened since Utrecht?
Not that much.
Much,
I
okay.
changed my deck because I thought Prankids is a good meta call.
All right, and obviously you're in the semi-finals again, so you've been doing quite well. So you're happy with your deck choice. What was the preparation for the event like?
Last week I started to play test the deck every day, and now I'm here.
Okay, so if you played every day, I think you can even do it in 1 week. Okay, what do you think about your chances in this match right now?
I think if I win the die roll and I don't break, my chances are good.
All right, so it might be depending on the die roll. Please have a seat, good luck to you. His opponent is a bit less known in Europe, but he's actually a powerhouse when we're looking at the international European scene. We got Andres David Torres from Colombia. Welcome. People know you, even though you basically crossed half the world to get here. How's been your weekend like so far?
Really good, really good. I really enjoyed the tournament. As I told you, it's my first time here, and this YCS has been more than good.
Well, we know that Dinh-Kha Bui was in the finals of the largest European event. You were actually quite busy that same weekend because you were playing in Mexico and you won the YCS there, right?
Yeah, I won with Burning Abyss.
So you two guys have something in common because he was playing Burning Abyss too, right? And on top of that, you also won another prestigious title, if I'm not mistaken.
The UDS 2 weeks ago.
So you're basically on a roll right now. What is your secret?
I don't know, like Thunder Dragons are just amazing.
Okay, so it's just the deck that's carrying you there? Or do you have like a pre-game ritual or something like that?
Not really, just play. I think that deck is really good. I have been playing that deck as soon as they came up, and I really like it. So.
All right. Please have a seat. The most relaxed duelist in the entire venue in the semi-finals. All right, our players are ready. Let's perform the die roll real quick so we know who's allowed to go first. Can you roll the die? It's a water die. It's a 3 for Dinh-Kha Bui. And Andres got a 1, so you can decide if you want to go first.
Yes.
And the streak does not end here. Everybody who wins the die still wants to go first. With that, guys, the stage has been set. The players are almost ready. Let's take it away, guys. Tom Payne and Marcello Barberi.
Hi, everyone. We're back. And it's top 4 now. We are going to an end, and it's quite an exciting match.
Yeah, this is not something many people would have called to be in the top 4.
I think no one could have expected Prankids to be in the top 4 of the YCS.
Versus Thunder Dragons.
Yeah, and we've seen Dinh-Kha before at the event. Dinh-Kha Bui, he was on stream.
He was playing this sick Burning Abyss deck. Like that was the first time I'd seen the sort of Hydralander, and then after that, I mean, I knew Hydralander. But it was the first time I'd seen someone using it and doing so well with this really heavily OTK-focused deck.
He was 1-0 in the finals as well, so he was very close to claiming the title.
And then it became like the standard deck, which is quite an achievement to like define the meta.
Yeah. And well, what an opponent other than Andres Torres, who Oliver said is not as known here in Europe, but is
tearing up.
Probably at the moment, the player with most result in the last like 2 months or so, because he has been on a streak. He won the 300 YCS with Burning Abyss, just like Dinh-Kha was about to do, and he won 2 weeks ago the UDS with a very similar deck list that he is playing today. He's still Thunder Dragon, still with some Chaos Spice, but he got quite some changes, and I'm sure we will be interesting to see how he adapted his deck. But let's talk about it later once we get to the match. So let's switch it up.
Do you think he was prepared for the Prankid matchup?
I'm pretty sure he wasn't, because like
I was definitely not prepared.
Yeah, and I mean I even followed like
deck.
his events, like, and the YCS, both in the US and in Mexico, where he performed so well, and Prankids was not even on a future match, so I'm pretty sure he might not even know what they do. He might have done some research now that everyone was talking about it even yesterday, so it's possible, but well, he has to adapt pretty quickly to that.
Yeah, you've got to know like what to interrupt, what to play around. I mean, it doesn't look like he's running too many interruptions.
I mean, he does play like 9 entraps in the main deck, to be fair, which is quite a lot. He has Veiler, Ogre, Ash, and Impairments, which are quite, I mean, generic, to be honest.
You've got to know when to use them.
Yeah, and he's holding all of them in his hand for some reason. Now, they're probably just checking the decks real quick. And yeah, the most interesting part about this deck, though, is the engine. For people that didn't see his deck list from the UDS, he's actually using a really big Chaos engine with the Black Dragon, Collab Serpent, and the Wyvern Burstler.
Along with some dangers.
And the dangers are the new part of the deck. We have not seen anyone play dangers in Thunder Dragon.
I'm pretty excited by this. He's running Snow.
And Phantom Sky Blaster.
Sky Blaster.
This deck, yeah, is full of combo pieces. He can actually summon Skull Dread Saruya, he can summon a swarm of monsters, even summon sorcerers, and it's definitely exciting to see. We've seen a lot of players actually catch up on the Seraphonite and the Snow, but we're definitely not seeing anyone else playing Sky Blaster and this huge Chaos engine. So I think he is the most explosive Thunder Dragon deck we've seen this weekend.
And a puzzle for the viewers who can figure out why he is side decking 2 copies of. Okay. Yes.
Oh, okay.
A puzzle for the viewers to find out who, why he was side decking 2 copies of Threatening Roar.
I mean, yeah, exactly. That's
we didn't figure it out.
We didn't figure out. For anyone watching, Andres is siding 2 Threatening Roar, which could be for a different variety of reason. It could be for end of the round. It could be for some matchups. But we personally can't know for sure. I don't. Yeah.
Trickstars maybe.
I mean, there are a few Ayata, there are a few interactions, but none of it seems to be super on top of my mind.
So we're seeing here that, yes, there's a bit of a delay because Andreas unfortunately forgot to
side out from the last match.
in between rounds.
I'm not sure if he presented his deck. That would cause a game lost, but let's see what the judges figure out.
We see the Threatening Roars.
Yeah, he sided those. And
well, that will help us figure it out if we know what he played.
Yeah, let's see as Bell. I don't know.
So, yeah, I guess maybe they're just discussing as to the situation, as to whether...
Yeah, the thing is it wasn't clear if he presented his deck. I'm honestly not sure. We should have looked back at it, but I'm sure the judges were noticing, and we'll just know quite quickly what happens. But yeah, let's talk about Dinh-Kha deck in the meantime.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the advantages of the feature match situation.
Yeah.
Is you never have any, like, you can always just check what happened.
Exactly.
Okay, we're going to cut back to us for a bit while this is sorted out.
Sure.
Maybe we'll get the stats tool in a moment to
yeah,
have
we'll
a
get the
look at the
stats
deck
tool
breakdown.
First we can, as I said, I was talking about Dinh-Kha deck. I mean, if you missed the previous future matches and don't know what Prankids do, we surely saw that it's quite an explosive deck. A lot of starters. It doesn't really brick much, and he's able to mount on the field a lot of fusions and link monsters that do a lot on their opponent turns as well.
Yeah, I mean, they all seem to have effects.
Yeah.
Activating on your opponent's turn.
Exactly.
With a powerful interruption of either destroying all of your opponent's monsters or having access to a card which destroys all of your opponent's spells and traps.
Yep.
Which seems like, you know, as options go.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We saw also that it's able to summon Totally Awesome, which is always a great card to cover up like evenly matched or any form of interruption. And if you follow it up with a Raigeki or a Feather Duster on your opponent's turn, well, that's great. Do we want to bring something up?
Yeah, we could see if we can get the... should we bring up the... if we go to the results, then we can look at the nice bracket.
Yeah, let's try to
bring up the results.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
So as you can see, as we proceed to the top 8, we lose some more countries, and in the top 4, we can't show in yet, but we know that the remainings are, of course, Dinh-Kha Bui, Torres, and then Federico, which we saw winning, and the last player is Wasser, which we also had on stream, is the very tall guy for people that forgot, and he's playing Sky Strikers.
How could we forget, yeah. So we'll have a Sky Striker Thunder Dragon matchup, which I'm sure Federico is well versed in, and we're also well versed in, having
exactly
featured it
we
2 or
just
3
witnessed.
times.
So the top
stream.
4 is basically 2 Thunder Dragons, 1 Sky Striker, and 1 Prankids. Yes.
So we've just been informed that Andres forgot to
side out
and incorrectly, and the penalty for that is
obviously a game loss.
First
so we're
game.
starting to game 2. Let's go back to the match, and we can start. So unfortunately, as you can see from the screen, it's gonna be 1-0 for Dinh-Kha, and that means that even though he won the die roll, Andres is allowed to choose who goes first.
Yeah, and I don't think either player is allowed to side deck.
No, they are not. So he starts things off, and
a set 1 is presumably a danger, not just a pass.
Yeah.
You always get worried when someone sets. It's just like they're just going to pass.
Yeah, in the
but
past,
that was too confident.
So he starts things off with Nessie.
And we will see what Nessie does for him.
It's a call-up Serpent.
Maybe not the best. Probably one you want in your hand.
So he has a Matrix and a Hawk, and he draws into... Is it another danger? No, I can't... Maybe the duo. Yeah, it is the duo. He goes into a Link Summon.
Yeah, the duo seems fairly live.
Reproducus.
Oh, here we go. This looks like fun. I don't really know where his deck's going to go, but
yeah,
I like
you can do a lot. I don't think it was like the best hand you can get, depending on the set. I'm not sure what the set is.
Yeah, I can agree that it probably isn't the best hand, because you probably want to see a Brilliant Fusion or a Gold Sarcophagus.
Or a Barryman, whatever. I'm not sure on the set, though, because this hand is not looking bad, definitely.
So this can upgrade the...
Into a Summon Sorceress.
Summon Sorceress, which is a pretty good card.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say. So the only card Dinh-Kha has that could stop Summon Sorceress potentially is an Ash, but he does not have any Ash. Is he going to give his opponent? That's very nice of him.
That's kind.
Isn't it? Is he even used as a normal? Yeah, he normal summoned the Matrix.
Yeah, he did. So now he's able to get the Roar and...
get going.
Yeah, get going, but depending on the set, I think the set matters a lot, because otherwise this hand is not as powerful as it looks, but he does have the
Hawk.
Got
the Hawk as
so
well.
He can do a couple Colossus depending what he wants to do.
He can upgrade into 2 Colossus.
And we actually know that Dinh-Kha has 2 copies of Pandemonium and a Terraforming.
Pandemonium is the...
We can bring it up for you guys.
We can. That's a good shout. I'm pretty sure it's the fusion spell, right?
Yeah. It is.
And with no Prankids.
So for now, also Dinh-Kha hand is not looking good, because he only has a Prankid Monsters and 2 copies of the Quick Spell. So he needs something else to get going, and Terraforming is gonna be locked. So let's see.
What link is it? Link 4 or a Link 2?
Saruya.
Okay. Well, not the most explosive.
Oh, okay. The set was the fusion, so now he's actually able to end with 3 fusions, which is actually quite an explosive end. So you see that even though he didn't open a starter, the fact that he can go into Summon Sorceress, which is something that we're not seeing this weekend yet in Thunder Dragon, was able to actually provide him with a really good opening, almost better than the one we saw.
Yeah, but it has used his entire hand.
I know.
Unlike Federico, but I do agree, it is up there, because it's left him with and slightly boosted Thunder Dragons as well. Plus a search, so maybe another Thunder Dragon Dark, perhaps? So he can trigger the Titan.
Can you search it with the...
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't think you can. So.
It would be odd if you couldn't, considering its other effect can also search itself. Well, it only searches itself, but...
You never know.
You never know.
The others can't be used on themselves, so it makes sense that you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So let's come back to the hand of Dinh-Kha.
Okay, and he gets an Eastern Fusion. Okay, that makes things interesting for sure. Because it is a Prankids.
Yeah, what he might be able to do, if he can put one of the Thunder Dragons in the graveyard,
then he'll be able because he has the spell, so I think...
Then he could use the Call by the Grave to negate the other one if he can get rid of the first. But he's not... Oh, I don't know how he gets one in the graveyard from this point.
You mean Colossus?
Yeah.
Or,
so if he could put a Colossus in the grave, then he could
of course, then he negates
Call by the Grave, and that would
them.
negate the other one.
That would be huge. He's explaining the effects to Andres, who of course is not familiar with this deck.
Rocket Ride. When it is fusion summoned, you can have this card lose 1,000 attack this turn, and it can attack your opponent directly. It can also summon some Prankid monsters from your graveyard. And do you think, where did that prank, did he have that in his hand?
Yeah, he had one Prankids, that's the problem. He didn't have any other.
I see.
So he needed any Prankids to be able to...
Any Prankid to be able to...
yeah, to upgrade and... yeah, because he has two fusion spells in his hand, so he needed something else. Okay, he goes for Cold by the Grave. Apparently, was there a Colossus? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So my thinking was, you could use a 1,000 Eyes Restrict, take one of them, link it away.
Did you think a Colossus was there?
Maybe he did. What did he banish in that case?
He banished the Dark.
I mean, it's still not bad, because it means he's not going to be able to use it next turn.
Yeah, but why do you use it now?
I don't know. I think he probably thought of Colossus.
What did he add,
there.
by the way? Do we get to see?
We might get to see in a second.
I don't think he has anything. It doesn't look like he has a card in his hand.
No, he had a Colossus in his hand. Oh, maybe Reyes used the Matrix, and that was why he chained the Call by the Grave.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay, so he gets the Bow Wow now. He sends the plan, and...
Does the plan do something in your graveyard?
He can protect from attacks, if I believe.
It's also there. Can it be added back with the links?
You're asking too much, but yeah,
I'm asking
you
too
can.
much.
I know the basic combos. I learned those, but
Prankids plan. You can banish this card from your graveyard, shuffle any number of Prankids cards from your graveyard into the deck, and if you do, an attacking monster loses 100 attack for each card shuffled. Well, I guess it refreshes your deck, which is not, you know, for free. I would take it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily pay for it, but given it's free, could be worse.
And I think he probably is able to add them.
So
Wouldn't
now
make sense otherwise.
the answer is, how does he deal with the Titans? Because he can't use either of the... well, he's banished one of the terraforming, I guess.
Yeah.
Which he couldn't use.
It's definitely not easy.
Because, I mean, even if you ignore the... You know, even if you can say, all right, I don't need to search my deck, you still have to somehow figure out how to get rid of them without triggering all of the Thunder Dragons.
From the graveyard, yeah.
Which is a real pig. I'm going to be totally honest. Do you think he is running... Oh, he wasn't running Link. He wasn't running Restrict anyway, so my plan would not have worked.
I mean, he does play Border Load and other Link monsters, which might come in handy, honestly. But
Yeah, Borrow Load is pretty good, because he can Link summon Borrow Load and take the Titan. I don't think anything is Thunder. The present from Reyes is he can use and freely use it as a Link material, because Reyes has already used his Matrix this time, so he couldn't search for it.
Yep.
Even if he had any left. Which I'm not convinced that he does.
yeah, it's basically just a matter of how he wants to go for this. He doesn't have too much. Honestly, we've seen a lot more explosive openings from other Prankids. It seems like the Colossus Duster, because he opened the Terraforming, and does he now have... Yeah, he still has the double quick fusion, which...
No, there's Pranks.
Hmm?
Prankid's Pranks.
Yeah.
Which lets you discard a card to summon a Prankid token. And during your end phase, you can shuffle any number of Prankid... shuffle 3 Prankid cards from your graveyard into your deck to draw a card.
You want to show it? Or?
We could do.
I think he's activating it then, so yeah. Yeah.
There it is. Oh no, it just changed. Ash. Everyone knows Ash already.
Yeah. So as you said, you can discard 1 Pranky card and special summon. And then during the end phase, he gets a draw, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, if the... I feel like you can't really be playing a card that draws something in the end phase for its sort of primary purpose.
I know, but at the same time, the Pranky Dex works in your opponent's turns as well.
That's true.
It has a few interactions, so it can't be that bad.
I mean, it's definitely a good bonus.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a one-off, if it's searchable somehow.
Yeah, seems so.
So what do you think? So you can obviously link with the token, I guess, even if you can't tribute it. If he has any Prankids cards in his
It
hand.
doesn't seem to be that relevant. You can also, use it for fusions.
Which he does. So he's got the field spell, which he wouldn't be able to use otherwise. Well, he at least couldn't use the search effect of the field spell, which is probably the one that you want to use, if I'm totally honest. I mean,
I agree.
Reducing your opponent's attack is, something.
Not that relevant.
But not quite the same.
I agree. So it seems like he's adding Chew back with the Dodo and
with the what now?
With
the Dodo?
The Dodo. The Dodo.
Yeah. He's used his normal summon, so I don't know what he does with the... Oh, he's still got the fusion spell, actually. And he can get a token.
Yeah. So he's using the token effect.
He's used the rocket this turn, right? A link summon again.
Yep.
Maybe he's not used this Prankid monster already.
Yeah, he didn't.
What's this one going to do for him?
Just a little bit more advantage, honestly. It depends on...
that's the one which gains 1,000 life points.
His ending goal.
And are we going to see a Boral Sword, a Boral Load? Probably a Boral Load, right?
Yeah, Boral Load makes sense.
A big Boral Load. Not just any Boral Load, but a big one.
The best Boral.
The big bad Boral Load.
Which one do you want to steal? Yeah.
How do you think he's stealing the small one? Yeah, how do you think the Thunder Dragon deck outs a Boral Load?
Either by attacking.
I suppose you can attack it with a Titan.
Yeah.
But you have to have a Matrix on hand to buff it.
Yeah. Which doesn't seem to be that impossible, honestly.
That's true. That's true.
Even just in this situation, if you switch.
But now Boral Load's already reduced it by 500 the first time, and it was gained 300 from the Saryuja.
So it's 3,000, right?
So it's 3,000, so we'll be able to crash. And I suppose a Titan crashing is probably better than a Titan attacking over something.
But no, it actually doesn't work because he's boosted by Saryuja as well, Boral Load.
Oh yeah, Boral Load is boosted by Saryuja, so you'd have to make another Titan.
Yeah, it's quite confusing at this point.
And then
this is where the field spell boost comes in handy. But yeah, in general, yeah, you can probably do it quite easily.
Any fancy tricks in his extra deck? He is running Boral something. I'm guessing it's Boral Load Dragon, but to be honest, his writing is atrocious. The top card.
Yeah, it could be either, honestly.
It could be
Boral or Boral's Word. You can't really...
Boar Dead. Now that's I have no idea. You're right.
I think it's Boral Load, to be fair.
I would read that as Boral Load.
But it's quite impossible to read. And
maybe the Thunder Dragon deck
just
doesn't need Boral Sword. Okay, let's find out what he's drawn per turn. Danger Jackalope. If I'm going to be honest, not that helpful.
Yeah, not that helpful. But as I was saying, he could crash and get some Thunder Dragons as well.
Oh yeah, I think that is his plan. He's got to remember that Dark has been...
he doesn't though, yeah.
Well no, he can still crash the Titan and banish 2.
But the Titan doesn't have the protection from battle.
It doesn't?
Yeah, it's only the Colossus.
I'm learning a lot this weekend. Thunder Dragon Titan. If this card would be destroyed by a card effect. That is strange.
Yeah. I mean, when do you need to protect a 3200 monster
when your opponent has
battle?
A 3300 monster?
I know, but that's not very usual.
I mean, Boral Sword Dragon can't be destroyed by battle. Despite its 3000 attack and attack gaining effect.
That seems to be redundant, but Ash is used on the fusion at the fact, and now he's left with a Jackalope, and this Boral Load is gonna be really problematic now.
I don't know what he does about it. Maybe crashing the Titan was a...
I think crashing the Colossus was kind of weird.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, now he's able to do a lot again, and...
Well, we assume.
I'm pretty sure.
He's still under one. He's still under one Colossus, so he may have to.
Yeah, but
do
he has
something
the
first.
double Prankids and another fusion spell, so I'm pretty sure you will be able to do a lot. Possibly even like a Borosword play
If he
wants
runs
to do.
Borosword?
I think he does, yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we saw it in the other game, yeah, where he OTK'd.
But he can't efficiently. I suppose he can. He can just attack over the Titan, right?
Yeah, you can.
So he can borrow load the.
Yeah, so
Colossus and borrow sword
yeah,
the
exactly.
Titan.
And then you get rid of the other ones as well. I think, yeah, he could do that, but let's just wait and see.
And even if Andres had drawn a Thunder Dragon, he's still got the reduction effect of borrow load to prevent any sort of interruptions. But I can't really think of anything that he would have drawn and not used anyway. So I don't see why he wouldn't have used a Dark or summoned it with Sarge.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't even have a side deck, of course, so no evenly match can happen, and he's gonna be able to unmask a huge advantage. Let's see.
Yeah, no, this is honestly looking extremely strong for Dinh-Kha, and he is, lest we forget, already 1-0 up.
Yeah. And the fusion can just special summon 2 Prankids from the graveyard, even Link monsters.
Even Link monsters, of which there is one, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe
there is 2 actually, yeah, I think so.
That seems unreasonable
the
that
other,
there's 2.
yeah. So that's huge. Look at this. The amount of advantage is insane.
This is crazy.
Yeah. This deck is actually crazy.
He's gonna add 2 more cards back to his hand.
Yeah.
He can fuse again. Like, what's going on? How is this happening?
Andres is just like in disbelief. As everyone watching, honestly, just props to Dinh-Kha for, and also to Herman Hansen, of course, who was also doing well with this deck, for thinking he could compete with the field, because it's apparently going really well.
It might be a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, it is. Okay, then he just decides to swing.
I mean, at this point, Andres has got nothing left.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be staring down his own Colossus, preventing him from searching.
He's going to be able to destroy the Titan, and now he's back online with the
Dinh-Kha's
searches.
going to have another draw in the end phase.
And this is insane. Look at this board.
Like,
the fuse spell is now live. He can search, and wow.
I mean, he's just like 10 cards up or something.
Yeah, and as we know, he can do both a Raigeki or a Feather Duster in his opponent's turn. So what can you even draw in any deck? Yeah.
I mean, with access to the... I don't know if he's got access to the Link 4 without the Prankids plan, which lets you Link summon. But
I mean, he could. He has.
He's got Pandemonium, which...
I mean, he could just go into the Link 4 right now if he wanted, but...
Feels excessive.
Yeah.
Don't think he needs a Harpy's Feather
He doesn't.
Duster.
I don't know. I know he doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying. And he has a fusion spell for the Raigeki, which seems to be the most important one. So...
This is mad.
That's... Wow. I'm impressed even more. Now I'm starting to understand why they're doing so well. That's
I think it's quite interesting, because I feel like maybe against the explosive decks, it's not really packing anything, but against the Thunder Dragon deck, where they put out the board, or against Sky Striker, this is just
it seems to be so much of an advantage, because now he can tribute both to add 2 more and to special summon 2 more, which is insane.
And just
sure, Oki's picked up, but like, what can you really do against such a bird?
I mean, I don't know if he can out-borrow load regardless.
Yeah, I think even if there wasn't anything there, but...
If there's nothing but the borrow load.
Yeah, that's impressive.
He can't search. I mean, the Jackalope can summon Nessie or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know where you go from there.
I don't either.
He can make another Colossus, which will probably just get stolen. I mean, the Raigeki effect is... I mean, it's not useless, but it's not amazing against...
Yeah, it's not amazing, but
Dragon.
like... It depends.
I quite like the idea of getting Thunder Dragon and having it as a discard for the dangers.
Yeah.
Seems like what it's supposed to be
Yeah, it's
used
cool.
for, just random fodder in your hand.
How it was used back in the day, essentially.
Yeah. What happens, do we think?
Not much. I don't really see a way how he can get rid of this board. Like, he has to fight it, and the thing is, if he understood what's going on, if the problem is both links are able to get 4 cards back, which is absurd. And yeah.
I mean, not only that, he's like, is he gonna have to like link it away?
Yeah. And he's gonna fetch for the draw, but
Yeah, this seems not horrible, but destroying that does nothing because he just chains it, right?
it depends if he can chain it right away. I think he does, and then he can chain
Well,
the
he can,
links.
because yeah, he can then chain a couple
But
of
I
the
mean,
links.
it depends if it was illegal to chain it right away.
Oh, that's a good point, but almost certainly.
Yeah,
right?
because you have the small
Yeah, you've got the
Prankids as
small
well.
ones.
So then you can chain the link and you're able to summon the Raigeki if you want, which right now would be actually quite decent,
Yeah,
even if not needed, but
or you can just sit there.
yeah. And
Like-
that's what he does. He's gonna summon, let's show it once again,
The Battle Butler.
the
of-
Battle Butler, who is able, as I said, to essentially tribute
Doom.
itself and destroys everything.
Once he's updated on the table. Prankids Battle Butler. Here he is.
So that's it for you guys.
This is crazy.
Yeah, this is absurd. I'm shocked by
I mean,
the power of this deck.
Andres is going to get a draw and a summon and a search. And it's his turn.
Yeah.
So he can do all these things, but Dinh-Kha doesn't really seem to care that it's his turn and is playing however he wants to in anybody's
agree.
turn.
Do you... the only thing I'm thinking about is that if he was able to summon the Prankids Mo Fusion, that's I think what they are debating at the moment, because... but
I assume he was, because he's been recycling them with
yeah,
Prankids pranks.
maybe you're forced to use the small ones to summon them, so it's possible he wasn't able to chain it, but let's see what the judges actually say. I think they're talking about that.
I mean, that is a reasonable concern, whether it's a sort of legal activation.
Yeah, but it is. So nothing happens. Effect Valor is picked up. Dinh-Kha is gonna decide if he wants to Raigeki right now, and he can even special summon the Prankids from the deck and use the boost, which is insane. Wow, I'm impressed by this. He still has the link that can recover 2 cards from graveyard, so how does this stop?
I have
Did
no
he
idea.
even not use the end phase shuffle free draw 1 last
I
turn?
think he did. I don't know where else
He
the
probably, yeah, he
polymerization
did,
came
and he got
from.
polymerization, yeah. So, like, how do you even stop the recycling? It's so insane.
I don't know, and he's using 4 effects right now
Yeah.
on the search. I think Andre's just saying, you've only got 2 zones, but maybe he just wants the other bonus. Do you do the other bonus before the summon?
I mean, which, do you mean the fuel spell?
No, so all of the Prankids have
Oh
like
yeah, the
a
plus
summon
1,000
plus
so on.
something.
Yeah, you do it before the summon.
So maybe it's worth activating them and then just to get the plus 1,000 life points. You know, just to win in style with 10,000 life
And yeah,
points. And
that's what he's doing. Wow.
And then Andrew's going to get some of his own, you know,
He gets
comparatively puny cards.
Yeah.
You know, he gets a search and a jackalope. He's probably just looking
You
at this
just
being
Raigeki
like,
here?
what is going on? Yeah, you can.
I mean, he's... yeah, you probably just
I mean,
do.
not that you need to, but
It just look fancy, I guess. And all Andres is gonna be left with is an effect Valor.
What did he say?
And the
That's
handshake
it.
comes down. Dinh-Kha moves to the final. You can hear the applause cheering, and we can't blame them, so let's go to the post-match discussion. Congratulations.
like, what just happened?
I have no idea. I'm so impressed by the deck. It's great to have such a thing. It's a fantastic match, honestly. Unfortunately, there was the dispute at the beginning, so we got to start from game 2, but it was such a great game. We saw Prankid as his finest. As you said,
Like,
yeah.
Even against the Colossus, which was shutting down multiple cards in his hand,
It's, yeah.
he still went off.
it didn't matter. Like he only needed was one more card, and he got the instant fusion, and he was ready. He went for incredible amount of plays, and you could probably hear the crowd going crazy because we expected Prankids to be in the final, and especially Dinh-Kha playing it again. So he's in the finals of 2 YCSs in a couple of months.
Rogue decks, which is a
quite
pretty good
huge
achievement.
result.
Yeah. Like, turning up with a deck that people aren't expecting and doing well with it is arguably better than turning up with a deck that people are expecting.
Oh yeah, well, it's not always something that happens in Yu-Gi-Oh, but when you can capitalize on a new deck, then your opponent don't even know what they do. It's such a good feeling, and he got to the final. He's not the underdog anymore. I think everyone is actually cheering for him and fearing him, honestly. I wouldn't even want to play against Prankids now, but if you get to the finals, you can't choose. You're forced to play against Dinh-Kha.
You don't get to choose who you're playing.
I know. But it's like you can pray that he loses, you know? You can pray that he loses to the other guy.
Now.
But now, no. Dinh-Kha is there. There is only one match remaining for him to claim the title that he didn't get back in Utrecht. And I'm sure he wants to get it.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, what can I say? The other 2 decks left in competition are not combo decks.
Thunder Dragon,
and
which
Sky
he's
Strikers
just taken apart.
Demolished, yeah.
And Sky Strikers.
Who he seems to have demolished as well during the Swiss round. So
well, he must have.
Yeah.
To be here.
Yeah. So I don't have anything else to say. It was such an incredible performance. There is only one match left to say, and let's go to the interview before we do.
There's only one thing to say. Congratulations. You're in the finals of 2 of the last 3 European YCSs. I'm going to say it and take a little bit pressure away from you. Even if you don't win in the finals, everybody's going to recognize this accomplishment. It's a monumental accomplishment, so congratulations on that. What's going on in your head right now? How do you feel?
I'm speechless. The last YCS which I attended was YCS Utrecht. This means all YCSs this year I attended, I were in the finals.
All right, so you don't get the ordeal of a traveler playmat, but I think you're still doing okay. Right. How did you decide on Prankids for this tournament?
I really like the playstyle, and it's really fun. And I think it's a really good deck. It has a great resource management because of the trap and the spell, and it can outgrind many decks.
How much of an effect does the element of surprise have in your matches? It seems like nobody really knows what the deck is doing, so that must be helpful, right?
Yes, for sure. The surprise factor is a big thing, yeah.
All right, so we have a couple of players that are still confused how the deck works. So maybe if you can give them just a very quick rundown, like what is your strategy when you're playing Prankids? What do you really want to see?
I always want to see a 2 or 3 card combination, either polymerization and 2 Prankids, or instant fusion and 1 Prankid monster.
Right, and then you have a number of ways to go from there.
That's right. If you open like that, you hardly lose.
So you have the experience of playing in the final in a high pressure situation. You're now gonna be in the same situation again. Are you gonna do anything differently compared to last time in Utrecht?
Again, please. Sorry?
What are you going to do differently compared to Utrecht? Because you have been in the finals before.
Okay.
How do you make sure you win this time?
I don't know. Let's see.
Okay. All right. You got some time to figure it out. So thank you very much. Get ready for the finals. I know a lot of you are excited to see that. We're going to take another quick break. I think the other match might still be underway. So very soon we're going to know who's going to face Dinh-Kha Bui for the title of champion of YCS Milan. So don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to be right back after these few clips.